I call the March School Board meeting to order. Please call the roll, ma'am.
Mr. Schonfweiler?
Here.
Mr. Faulkner?
Here.
Mr. Bando? Here. Mrs. Ledford? Here. Mr. Panetta?
Here. Please stand with me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our meeting agenda is before us. We know there are some things to clean up. We also have, under the superintendent's business, number 2F, softball coach. We'll say more about that when we get there. And also number 8, a tennis coach, so we'll get that. At the end of our regular business, we will move into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, compensation, and/or complaints against a public employee or official. Do we have a motion to approve our agenda?
Make that change on that step.
We will clean all that up. You want me to go ahead and do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where are we at? Page
3, 2A.
Page 2A should be step 1. We don't have 0 steps, so
I'll move for the modification of the agenda.
thank you. John, do we have a second?
I'll second.
We're going to let Claire do it. She's down there. All right, ready to vote?
John?
Yes.
Claire? Yes. Joe?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes. It was. That's what happens when you go one meeting on a cruise. You know, you're still recovering, getting back into the swing of things. Welcome to those of you who have joined us this evening. Just a reminder that when we meet together, we are not in a public meeting. We are a legislative body meeting in public. We appreciate people's attendance as they come. Also, speaking in front of a school board in public session is one of the responsibilities that we allow. We appreciate people's coming to share with us information and other things, so we appreciate that opportunity, and thank you all for being here this evening. We had one request to address us this evening. If you would please share with us your name and full address.
Michelle Rhodes, 2473 Lehman Road, New Vienna, Ohio.
Thank you.
Can you please explain to us why the principal of the high school received a review on May 27, 2015, in which he was given an ineffective rating on Standard 1, Continuous Improvements, and a developing rating on Standard 3 for school operations, resources, and learning environment, while achieving the following scores on the state report card? In 2012-2013, he received an 87.5% Achievement Performance Index of grade B, 100% Achievement Indicator grade A, 100% Gap Closing Annual Measurable Objectives grade A, 93.0% graduation rate of students graduating in 4 years, grade A. In 2013-2014, 84.8% Achievement Performance Index, grade B, a decrease of 2.7%. 90% Achievement Indicator met, grade A, decrease of 10%. 100% Gap Closing Annual Measurable Objective, no change, grade A. 91.5% graduation rate of students graduating in 4 years, decrease of 1.5%, grade B. 2014-2015, 84.8% Achievement Performance Index, no change, grade B. 93.8% Achievement Index indicators met, increase of 3.8%, grade A. 100% Gap Closing Annual Measurable Objective, no change, grade A. 93.5% graduation rate of students graduating in 4 years, an increase of 2%, grade A. while at the same time, the principal of middle school received a review on May 27th, 2015, in which he was given an accomplished rating on Standard 1 and a skilled rating on Standard 3, while achieving the following scores on the state report card. 2012-2013, 86.4% Achievement Performance Index, grade B, 100% Achievement Indicators Met, grade A, 75.5% Gap Closing Annual Measurable Objectives, grade C, Progress Value Added Overall, grade B. 2013-2014, 84.8% Achievement Performance Index, decrease of 1.6%, grade B. 71.4% Achievement Indicators Met, decrease of 28%, grade C. 62.5% Gap Closing Annual Measurable Objective, decrease of 13%, grade D. Progress Value Added Overall, grade C. 2014-2015, 75.1% Achievement Performance Index, decrease of 9.7%, grade C. 55.6% Achievement Indicators Met, decrease of 15.8%, grade D. 25.5% Gap Closing Annual Measurable Objectives, decrease of 37.5%, grade F. Progress Value Added Overall, grade F.
We do not discuss personnel matters. We do not discuss evaluations in public setting.
As stated in District Policy AFBA, quote, "The evaluation of the treasurer's abilities and performance is written and made available to and discussed with the treasurer. The board considers the evaluation of the treasurer in acting to renew or non-renew his or her contract. Evaluation criteria are reviewed as necessary or as requested by the treasurer, but not less frequently than annually. Upon review of the file sent to me on March 15th, 2016 by your lawyer, there has not been an evaluation completed since 2013. There is not a current contract or a salary notification in the file. Why have you failed to complete the annual evaluation as stated per policy for multiple years?"
We did complete it. The last one has not been here. As a retire, rehire, the rules are different. We do continue to evaluate. We decided to change our evaluation from calendar year to school year, and so those are things that are, the next ones will be completed before the end of this fiscal year.
The last one is 2013.
The
We are
last one
currently-
the last one in that record is 2013. You are correct. That
So-
is not the last evaluation. The most recent evaluation is not yet in that folder.
So are you confirming that you knowingly violated the Freedom of Information Act when providing me with this file?
That has not been put into the file yet. It was done at the board meeting. It will be supplied to you as soon as
It was
we-
done at which board meeting?
December of 14. We didn't do it last year. It was late.
Yeah, we complete the evaluation and then they're moved back into the superintendent or treasurer.
Somehow we didn't get the last set in.
You were told that was a
Yeah,
complete
the last
file.
copies aren't. So we'll track those down and add them and make sure you get a copy.
I have stated by your lawyer, I asked the question if this was a complete file. Says, in answer to a separate email you sent me last week when I indicated that the only items we have withheld or redacted from a record production are items based on specific exemptions. I mean, those are the only items we have withheld or redacted. We have received all other response public records.
I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm simply sharing with you that was completed and was not put into the folder by the time you read it, that will be tracked down and added, and you will get a copy. That's all I can do.
Do you feel the school policies and procedures should apply to all employees of the district equally? Wow.
Well, you're asking us to do something when categories would
That's
prevent
right.
us from
That's right.
doing, we couldn't take the same policy for an 8-hour employee to a 4-hour employee, so not all policies
But
want to coincide.
if this policy applies to this person and this person is the same status, should that policy apply to both of those people equally?
I would think so.
Do you believe that this school board follows their own policies and procedures?
I take it you're going to give us a grade, so go ahead.
There's no grade, it's just a simple yes or no answer. Do you follow your own policies and procedures?
I believe so.
Why are you not following the policy as stated multiple times by both Mr. Lynch and Mr. Schonkweiler that any report of misconduct should be taken seriously and the employee should be placed on leave while an investigation is completed?
When did I say that? It's not in our minutes. I want to know when I said that. When you believe I said that, because that is not.
You quoted it to the Wilmington News Journal.
No, I did not.
Also
quote
believe
that
he
to
stated
News
it in
Journal.
the gymnasium at the big meeting.
I did not quote that to the News Journal.
Well, I can find that and
We'll
You
forward
can
that to
find that,
you.
but that does not mean that is what I said
No.
to the reporter from the News Journal.
I also have
show
it
you
on
saying
video,
it.
so I'll pull
You have it
that.
on video, a private conversation outside
No.
the meeting?
No, I have on video where you said it in a
I
board
wanna
meeting.
see that.
I will be happy to
Thank you.
pull that for you. Also, Mr. Gibson, who was a member of this board at that time, spoke directly to us after the September board meeting, telling us that he was aware of an investigation into Mr. Lynch, and therefore it's reasonable for us to believe that the entire board was aware of an investigation at that time.
I have not been notified by anyone involved with law enforcement that there is any kind of investigation. I would think if there was an investigation that should be notified, that at minimum, the school board president would be notified by someone in law enforcement. That has not happened.
So only law enforcement can make a complaint that you would investigate?
I didn't
You
hear
said that there was an investigation.
There is.
You say there is an investigation. I'm saying, and with all truthfulness, I have not been notified of that investigation by anyone outside of this table. And I'll ask a question of you. How did you become aware that there was a complaint?
I have an email right here from Detective Sergeant Gates.
How did you know to make that inquiry?
I filed the complaint.
Okay.
And I have here an email dated December 30th that went to the entire board. I quoted you and Mr. Lynch. You responded. It went back and forth, and you concluded with, I said, I feel it is the obligation and responsibility of the Blanchester Board of Education to follow your own policy and procedure, place Superintendent Lynch on leave, and look into these allegations. And your comment was, thank you for your concern.
That's right. And that's where it
And that's where you
stays.
left it.
And that's where it stays.
Where is your concern?
Are you finished?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay, thank you. Next part of business is the approval of our February minutes. I know there are some updates we need to make to that as far as dates, so you want to go with your list?
Well, I'll make the motion that we accept the minutes.
Okay, do you have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay, now, please, make the correction.
Okay. The second page in the paragraph of welcome to recognition of the public. About halfway down, it says with, and I believe that's supposed to be with. Graphical error. On the next page, under certified staffing, Brandon Salmons, the beginning date, I believe, was 2016, 2017. That's the only correction that I see, or that I found.
Thank you. You ready to vote? Yeah, right here. Sorry.
Joe?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Claire? Chuck?
Yes. Todd?
No legislative report. Legislators are still legislating, as you see on TV nightly.
Legislating or doing something. Number 7, business of the board. Number 1, it is recommended that the board adopt resolution number 19-16, approving a memorandum of understanding between the board and the Blanchester Education Association regarding the use of value-added data on the teacher evaluation system. Do we have a motion? I'll move. Thank you, John. Second?
I'll second.
Thanks, John. Joe? Do you want to say anything more about that, sir, other than it's...
This agreement states the district will not use value-added data when making decisions regarding the dismissal, retention, tenure, or compensation of district's teachers during the 15-16 and the 16-17 school years. Legislature has adopted these changes through House Bill 64. We've got it approved and got it all taken care of the EA as well.
Okay, great. Good. Ready to vote?
John?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Claire? Todd?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes. Number 2, it is recommended that the board adopt resolution number 20-16, approving a memorandum of understanding between the board and the Ohio Association of Public Employees, local number 477, adding the ability to use 1/3 day increments for leave for employees working in 2 different job categories. We have a motion.
I'll move.
She can move.
You got it. Claire's got it.
I'll
Second.
second.
Thank you, Todd. This also has been approved.
Yeah, well, we thought it was, but we found a mistake. But this MOU allows our employees working across 2 categories to take 3rd days of absences as opposed to quarter days. This will allow for more accurate record keeping. It is approved by the OC's representatives and needs to be approved by OC before it can be ratified.
So if we approve it, what?
We haven't took it to our membership.
Right.
Right.
It's not been approved yet.
Right. I said if we approve it, then you,
Is this something you guys brought to us, or we've
Yes.
asked them? Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. All right.
We had a problem with employees taking quarter days off, but only really working 1/3 of a day, taking 1/3 of a day
In other words, if they took off, instead of like 2 hours, they were being charged 3 hours. They were being cheated an hour at a time.
do you want us to wait till next month to approve this?
Either that, or if it don't pass, you just have to resend it.
It was our understanding that the board would go ahead and
Okay.
act on it,
Yeah. but we
and
can-
OC membership
Well,
would
you've
vote
got
on
a
it.
table
We
approval.
could, yeah.
Way they can start doing it soon.
So you ready to vote?
Yeah, I think we can go ahead.
Okay.
Claire? Todd?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes. Number 3, it is recommended that the board adopt resolution number 21-16, approving the following policies. GCN-1, evaluation of professional staff teachers. AFC-1, evaluation of professional staff teachers. GCN-2, evaluation of professional staff administrator. AFC-2, evaluation of professional staff administrator. IKF graduation requirements. We have all that in our packet. I trust you've had a chance to look at it. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, John. Second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Joe. Any other questions?
All 5 of these policies have been reviewed by the policy committee this past Friday. This is the 4th time since 2012 that teachers' principals' evaluation policies have been updated. The updated graduation requirement is not a change in the graduation credits. It permits students who are subject to the OGT or the Ohio Graduation Test requirements. It gives them graduation choices that incorporate the new graduation requirements.
Ready to vote?
John? John?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Claire? Chuck?
Yes. Number 4, it is recommended that the board adopt resolution number 22-16, approving settlement agreement with and mutual release of claims with Ryder Dairy LLC and authorizing board representative to execute settlement agreement and mutual release of claims. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Joe. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, John. You're going to talk about that, aren't you?
Yeah, I can cover that. We are part of the Southwest Ohio Educational Purchasing Council. They do a lot of group bidding for us. There's over 90 schools in that cooperative, and all of our food service vendors come through them because they give us better rates because they're part of 90 schools. The EPC, I guess, got to looking into some things with Ryder Dairy, didn't think things looked right, took it to court and found out that there were some overcharging of Ryder to the schools. So us, along with the 96 other schools that happen to use Ryder Dairy, are going to share a settlement of $890,000 from Ryder Dairy. Our share is $8,595.87. That's our share of that whole settlement. So if you approve this evening, then I can get it turned in, and when Ryder writes their check to the EPC for $890,000, then the EPC can cut us our check. That money will go into the food service fund because that's where it came from.
Did everybody get the same share, or was it based on?
It was based on the amount of milk you bought.
Oh, okay.
So I expect to see higher price milk, is that what's going to happen?
Up a bit. No, it might go down a little bit. It might go down.
Well,
Like a bit.
okay. Ready to vote? Okay.
Joe?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Claire? Todd?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes. Now it's your turn.
Resolution number 23-16, approving appropriation modifications and advances.
We have a motion. Thank you, Claire. Second.
I'll second.
Thanks, John.
The appropriation modifications are just they've taken in more money than we originally gave them in their budget in July. So because they've taken in more money, we can up what they can spend. And the advance is from a grant. And a lot of these grants, you have to spend the money, and then they'll give you they'll pay you after you've spent the money. So I can't have a fund go in the negative at the end of the month, so we have to advance the money to it. I've already requested it, so we should have it here by the end of the month.
Any questions? We're ready.
Claire? Yes. John?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Number 2, resolution number 24-16, approving amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
We have a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Thanks, Joe. Second.
Second.
Thanks, John.
If you look in your packet, you'll have the form, it's page 3. The Clinton County Auditor sends this to me every year. It has to be approved by the end of March. And this shows our rates, our millage rates, and the dollar amounts, thus the name rates and amounts, that we would get if everybody paid their taxes. So it's pretty much the maximum amount. If you see over in the right-hand column, it shows our outside the 10 mil limit that we have 32.25 mils. That is what was voted. Those are the mills that our people have voted over time. If you look at the general fund ones, they're more than 20 mils. But there's a law that says that those millage gets reduced, and they get reduced down to 20 mils. You hear people talk about the 20 mil floor for the floor. You can't go less than 20 mils. We are at the floor. So even though people years ago voted in maybe 30 or 35 or 37 mils, that's gotten reduced over time. The library fund that you see on there, we as a public body, you get to approve everything for the library. I do not see that money. I do not handle that money. It just has to go on our forms and so forth. The permanent improvement is 1 mil. That gets reduced a little bit. We're down to probably 0.98. It doesn't go very fast. And the classroom facilities maintenance is a ½ mil. That's the one that we put on when we built the buildings. And that's for classroom facilities maintenance. 1 mil for us will generate $131,000. So about, I always say about $130,000 is what 1 mil will get us. 1 mil does not mean $1 million. I wish it did. 20 million would be great. But a mil is 1/10 of 1%. It is not $1 million. So I always like to clear that up for people. So we are at the floor of effective millage rate. So these rates and amounts show what the auditor believes that, according to the valuations of all 4 of our counties, what we would receive from everyone. And I don't near get $3 million a year in taxes. It's closer to 2.6, 2.7. So we don't get the full amount. And the interesting part at the bottom, it kind of shows when these levies were put on the ballot too. Kind of interesting on the dates and so forth of when they were done. So this is something we do every year before the end of March.
Because we're required to.
Yes, and it's good information for me.
Okay, any questions? Ready to vote?
Joe?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Claire? Yes. Chuck?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Superintendent.
It is recommended the following personnel be employed as listed, subject to maintaining appropriate certification licensure, as well as satisfactory criminal record checks from the Bureau of Criminal Identification and Investigation and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, or whatever else necessary for employment. Salary will be based upon the adopted salary schedule and will reflect the appropriate steps for training and experience. Number 1, certified staffing. A, it is recommended that the board approve the following as substitute teachers: Joe Ellen Bradford, Gidget Howard, Shonda Johnson, Gail Rose, and Lindsay Lindahl.
Do we have a motion?
I'll move.
Thank you, Todd. Second, Claire? Okay. Any questions? We're ready to vote.
Todd?
Yes.
Claire? Yes. Joe?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Number 2, we'll put A, B, and C together. Classified staffing. A, it is recommended the board approve Nicole Boffman as aide. Salary will be at step 1 of the aide salary schedule per the OC master agreement. B, it is recommended the board approve the resignation of Marcia Dunn as van driver effective March 18, 2016. And C, it is recommended the board approve the resignation of Jason Foley as custodian effective March 15, 2016.
Have a motion.
I'll move.
Thank you, John. Second? Thank you. I thought I heard you down there. Marcia's moving away.
Marcia's moving away. Yes.
Anything else we need to know about any of that? We have things in our packet, so. Ready to vote? Yes.
John?
Yes.
Claire? Yes. Todd?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Letter D, we'll do this singly. It is recommended the board approve the following as classified substitutes: Anna Likens, Lisa Miller, and Lisa Brown.
Do we have a motion?
I'll move.
Thank you, Todd. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, John. Ready to vote?
Todd?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Joe?
I'll abstain.
Claire? Chuck?
Yes.
And we'll take E and F together. The board doesn't mind. E, it is recommended that the board approve a request by Diane Horner for 1 day unpaid on March 28, 2016. And F, it is recommended that the board approve Thomas Lee as assistant softball coach. Salary will be at step 1 of the supplemental salary schedule.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Joe. Second? I will.
Okay,
I will.
sure.
Ready to vote?
Joe?
Yes.
Chuck?
Yes.
Claire? John?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes. Number 3, it is recommended the board adopt resolution number 2516, approving the following as contracted service for summer mowing. Robert Kidd, $10, not to exceed 10 hours a week. And